Do you have a new pool? Are you opening your pool after a long winter? Have you neglected taking care of it for some time? If so, this video is for you. I will walk you through exactly what you need to get your pool chemicals balanced and ready for safe swimming. By getting these things dialed in now, you'll be preventing algae and other issues throughout the season. You can expect to pay someone between $250 to $500 if you want to hire this one out, but I think you'll find that you are fully capable of doing this one yourself. All the chemicals you will need to open your pool are the same as what you'll use throughout the normal season. Step 1. Remove any covers, winterization devices, and plugs. Install the skimmer baskets if they were removed for winter. Refill your pool halfway up the skimmer. Don't put a hose in the pool and forget about it. Set a timer. Next, you'll want to inspect your equipment for any cracks, leaks, and issues. Snow and ice can cause damage, and it's better to find it out early so you can order parts or schedule an appointment with the repair person. Lightly push and pull on all the pipes and make sure that there's no excessive movement or cracks. If you have a heater, remove the side grill and clear out any leaves or signs of animals living in the heater box. They make a really nice home for mice, so be prepared for that. And check that all the wiring looks intact and nothing's laying loose because mice like to chew on these wires. Next, turn on your filter and check for any signs of leaks or different sounds. While the pump is running, clear all debris from the pool. You can use a skimmer net to remove surface leaves and a vacuum pole or robot to clean the bottom. Use a brush to stir up any leftover fine particles and dirt so that it can reach the filter. Run your filter for 24 hours. This will give the pool time to circulate and filter the water. Don't forget to clean your skimmer baskets a few times if there's a lot of leaves in the pool. Now it's time to check the water chemistry and find out what chemicals we need to add. Ideally, you'll have a tailored test kit to do this. They're the staple of reliable pool test kits. If you don't have one, I highly suggest you look into it. They work really well and will last many years. I'll put a link in the video description below for a couple options. If you don't have a tailored test kit, then you can use test strips, which are slightly less reliable, or you can take a water sample to the local pool store. Take a water sample as deep down in the pool as you possibly can, away from any water outlets. You do this by putting a cup upside down and turning it once it's underwater. We do this to get a more accurate sample of the water where the water has had a better chance to circulate and it's away from any contamination on the surface level. You'll want to test for the following levels. The pH, which should be between 7.4 to 7.6, with 7.5 being best. Total alkalinity, which should be between 100 to 150 parts per million, with 125 being best. Free available chlorine, which should be between 1 to 3 parts per million, with 3 being best. Cyanuric acid, or CYA, which should be between 30 and 50 parts per million, with 50 being best. And your calcium hardness, which should be between 175 and 225 parts per million for vinyl or fiberglass pools, and 200 to 275 for plaster or concrete pools. Once you have your baseline numbers, you can quickly and easily punch them into a free app such as Pool Doctor. You'll need to know approximately how many gallons your pool holds, and don't forget that the spa may be part of that if you have one that's attached like me. You'll need the following chemicals for opening and maintaining your pool throughout the summer: pool shock, chlorine pucks or liquid chlorine, which is your sanitizer, and possibly CYA cyanuric acid, alkalinity increaser, pH increaser, pH decreaser, and calcium hardness increaser. Always use the proper safety gear, goggles, and gloves when handling these chemicals. Never mix chemicals in a bucket. Apply them one at a time to prevent a dangerous reaction. It is always best to add a little less than you think, then wait and retest. You can always add more easily, but if you add too much, it's a painful process to dilute the chemicals by partially draining your pool and adding more fresh water. Here's the order I recommend balancing your water chemistry. First, you want to set your alkalinity. Alkalinity helps buffer and prevent fluctuations with pH. If you need to raise your alkalinity, you can use alkalinity increaser or baking soda. If you add an alkalinity increaser, you may also raise your pH. Next, you'll want to adjust your pH. You can lower your pH with a pH decreaser, or if you need to raise your pH, you can use a pH increaser such as soda ash. After you adjust your pH, adjust your cyanuric acid or CYA levels. This one can be easily overdone, so only add a little at a time and always err on the side of less is more. If you overdo the CYA, you'll have to drain your pool. CYA helps to stabilize the sanitizer, and you'll want to wait an hour or two with the filter system running, then retest and adjust these levels before adding any more chemicals. Now give your pool a good brushing. Next, we will shock the pool. If your water is cloudy, you'll want to double shock. That means adding 2 pounds of chlorine shock for every 10,000 gallons of water. If you open up your pool to very green water, you'll want to check other YouTube videos on how to get rid of that algae first. Let the shock work all night with the filter system running, and after your chlorine levels have come down to the proper range, add your chlorine as needed. I recommend adding chlorine pucks to a floater or tablets to a chlorinator. If you have a salt pool like me, you may have a chlorine generating device, but remember they only work well in fairly warm water and it takes time, so it's probably better if you just finish balancing your pool chemicals before worrying about your chlorine generator on a saltwater pool. Lastly, adjust your calcium hardness levels. Low levels of calcium hardness can do damage over time and eat away parts in your pool. So wait until the water is sanitized and balanced before adjusting the calcium hardness. I know it probably feels like a lot of steps, but it really is easier than it looks. If any questions arise, you can always comment below for more help, and I'll put links to all the products and chemicals that I use on my own pool in the video description below. If this video was helpful, please give us a like, and if you want to see more pool videos like this one, please subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.